Have you ever scrolled through social media and felt a pang of envy? It's a common experience in today's digital age. We are constantly bombarded with images and videos of people living seemingly perfect lives. Those perfect smiles, flawless bodies, and luxurious vacations can be intoxicating. They draw us in, making us believe that this is the standard we should aspire to. The allure of these images is powerful, and it's easy to get lost in the fantasy they create. We start to compare ourselves, feeling inadequate and insecure. The more we compare, the more we feel like we are falling short. This constant comparison can erode our self-esteem and make us question our worth. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. But here's the secret: it's all an illusion. The images we see are often heavily edited and filtered. Behind every perfect photo there are countless retakes, touch-ups, and enhancements. What we see is not reality, but a carefully constructed version of it. Behind the filters and carefully curated images lies a multi-billion-dollar industry designed to make us crave the unattainable perfection. This industry thrives on our insecurities, selling us products and lifestyles that promise to make us better, more perfect versions of ourselves. This industry thrives on our insecurities, whispering that we're not good enough as we are. It tells us that we need to change, to improve, to strive for an ideal that is always just out of reach. This constant pressure can take a toll on our mental health, leading to anxiety, depression, and a host of other issues. But what if we dared to challenge this narrative? What if we decided to reject the idea that we need to be perfect? What if we embraced our flaws and imperfections and celebrated them as part of what makes us unique? What if we embraced our imperfections and redefined success on our own terms? Success doesn't have to mean having the perfect body or the perfect life. It can mean being happy, being healthy, and being true to ourselves. It can mean finding joy in the small things and being grateful for what we have. Let's dive into the history of the perfectionism trap and discover how we can break free. By understanding where these ideals come from and how they have been perpetuated, we can start to dismantle them. We can learn to see through the illusion and find a more authentic, fulfilling way to live. Join us as we explore this journey towards self-acceptance and true happiness. The seeds of the perfectionism industry were sown in the late 19th century. Advertising was taking root, and with it, a new era of consumerism. Magazines and newspapers overflowed with images of beautiful people using the latest products. The message was clear: happiness and success could be bought. These ads played on our deepest desires for belonging and acceptance, subtly suggesting that we needed these products to achieve them. Of course, reality was far messier, but the illusion of perfection had been planted, and it would only grow stronger with time. The aftermath of World War II brought a renewed focus on the home and family. Television burst onto the scene, beaming images of idealized domesticity into living rooms across the nation. We met the Cleavers, the Nelsons, and other families who seemed to have it all figured out. Their homes were spotless, their children well-behaved, and their lives seemingly free of conflict. These portrayals, while comforting, set an impossibly high bar. As television's influence grew, it shaped our perceptions. Families gathered around their sets, mesmerized by the moving images and stories. It quickly became a central part of daily life, setting standards and expectations for what life should look like. Advertisers capitalized on this, bombarding viewers with commercials that reinforced the need for the perfect home. These ads presented an idealized reality, where every household was immaculate, every meal a feast, and every family happy and harmonious. The perfect family and appearance became benchmarks. Fathers were breadwinners, mothers epitomes of grace, and children obedient and cheerful. Women were targeted with messages about beauty and domesticity. Ads for beauty products, appliances, and fashion convinced them their primary role was to be beautiful and efficient homemakers. The pressure to conform was immense, leaving many feeling inadequate and anxious. The constant bombardment of idealized images created a sense of inadequacy, especially among women. Beneath the surface, the pressure to conform affected every aspect of life, influencing choices, behaviors, and self-worth. The desire to fit in drove many to make sacrifices, often at the expense of their own happiness. The digital age ushered in a new level of perfection pressure. The internet and social media created even more unattainable standards. The pressure to present a perfect life online added new stress and anxiety. The internet and the rise of social media platforms poured gasoline on the already raging fire of perfectionism. Suddenly, we were bombarded with images of perfect lives 24/7. Social media influencers with their carefully curated feeds became the new arbiters of what was desirable. Likes, comments, and followers became the new currency of self-worth. This constant comparison and competition took a toll on our mental health. Anxiety, depression, and body image issues skyrocketed. The relentless pursuit of perfection comes at a steep price. Chronic stress, anxiety, and depression are just a few of the mental health consequences. Perfectionists often struggle with fear of failure, procrastination, and an inability to celebrate their accomplishments. They're so focused on reaching an unattainable goal that they fail to enjoy the journey. This constant striving can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a sense of hopelessness. The irony is that in striving for perfection, we often sabotage our own happiness and well-being. Consumerism thrives on our insecurities. The perfectionism industry is a master at creating needs where none existed before. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us that we need the latest gadget, the newest beauty treatment, or the most fashionable clothes to be happy and successful. This relentless pursuit of more keeps us trapped on a never-ending treadmill of consumption. We work longer hours, take on more debt, and sacrifice our precious time and energy, all in the name of attaining an illusion. We can escape the perfectionism trap by letting go of unrealistic standards. Perfectionism can be paralyzing, making us feel like we're never good enough. But perfection is an unattainable goal, a mirage that keeps moving further away. Recognize that perfection is an illusion. Our imperfections make us human, telling our stories and shaping our identities. Embracing these imperfections allows us to live more authentically and connect deeply with others. True happiness comes from celebrating our uniqueness and focusing on progress, not perfection. Accepting ourselves opens the door to self-love and compassion, fostering stronger relationships. Let's challenge the unrealistic beauty standards and societal expectations that fuel the perfectionism industry. Let's choose authenticity over conformity, courage over comfort, and wholehearted living over the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. Let's extend ourselves grace and compassion, recognizing that we're all works in progress, perfectly imperfect in our own unique ways. The journey to self-acceptance and self-love is ongoing, but it's a journey worth taking. It's time to wake up to the systems holding you back. Subscribe now and start seeing the world and yourself more clearly.